Hello everybody, this is Linster Crafts and I am speaking today about sock yarn, knitting socks, as well as crocheting socks. So let's get started. I'm going to show you the sock yarn first. This sock yarn is by Lolo Did It, and she has awesome sock yarn, and it's reasonably priced. It's hand dyed. This is the Zombies colorway, and it is in the sock yarn weight. And I wanted to talk about this because sock yarn is, I've had some that's not real stretchy, but this is, once I get a little strand here, it's quite stretchy and it bounces right back. So that is very nice. This is from Expression Fiber Arts. Her fiber is, or her yarn is hand dyed as well, and it tends to be more expensive. And between the two of them, between just feeling, I prefer the Lolo Did It. That's my preference. Alright? And one thing about socks is if you pick a pattern that has an actual stitch definition pattern. Oh, hey, ABI, how are you? And anybody else I missed? Oh, and I want to thank oh my gosh, sorry, the viewers that are going to be watching this on replay. I really appreciate your viewing. So anyway, back to the sock yarn. Stitch definition. You don't want to use a multicolor like this for a sock pattern that has stitch definition, a stitch pattern to it. This is better suited for stockinette, just a plain old vanilla sock pattern. This, however, a solid color, is great for stitch definition patterns of socks. However, at the same time, if you go too dark, it's not going to show the stitch pattern. So you want to be careful about what it is that you are wanting to achieve with the appearance of the socks. If you don't care, then do whatever. Okay, this one is also from Expression Fiber Arts, and this is one of her oopsies. Oh, good. I'm glad you're good. And I haven't wound it yet. One thing I learned recently about winding your yarn into a cake from the skeins or the hanks, don't do it until you're just ready to knit with it or crochet, whichever the case is, because it will hold the integrity of the yarn much better. It's going to leave the bounce back ability if you don't roll it into a cake too far before you're going to utilize it. So that's why these are still in hanks. And this is, I forget the name of this color. Hang on a second. Oh, Poetry and Prose. And I love this. It's just so pretty. And again, it was one of her oopsies. I guess I'll find the oopsie when I wind it into a cake. But this is Expression Fiber Arts. She has really good deals on her oopsies. And every once in a while, she has good sales on. Oh, hi, Quest for Fiber. How are you? Thanks for joining. I was supposed to do this on Saturday, but my connection was slow and it was horrible. So I just finally gave up. Okay, so let's talk about the different ways to knit socks. And then I'll go back to the sock yarn and talk about what else you can do with them. I love my Addi Turbo sock rockets. I use Magic Loop most of the time. However, thanks to watching Vintage Rose on Saturday, I learned that you can knit socks on 9-inch circulars, and I'm going to give it a try because I don't think there's a lot of challenges with it. So I'm gonna try it. So I don't have that as an example, but for the sock rockets, you need at least a 40-inch circular needle from tip to tip, and then you cast on, and I think I have a video of that up on my YouTube channel. If I don't, I will get one. And then you just you bring your back needle after you get them all cast on and separated. Bring your back needle to the front and knit this way at the front. So you really need a long cable. So that's why I have the long cable. And I actually won these in a contest, which was fun. So, and I've used them quite a bit. Because like I said, anything tubular, I usually use the Magic Loop. So, okay, the other method, of course, is DPNs, and they range in size for socks anywhere from 0 if you knit really, really tight, up to, I think this one, I think this is a size 2, if you knit, no, wait, I'm sorry, I said that backwards. Size 0 if you knit loose. Size 2 if you knit tight. Myself, I normally use size 1.5 because I knit fairly, I don't know what, I don't knit tight and I don't knit loosely. So I'm like happy medium. So when I do use DPNs, which isn't very often, I use my carbons. I love them. They've got nice tips. I'll show you the tip. It's the wrong way. It's got a nice sharp tip so you can get in without splitting the yarn. So there's that method. And then, like I said, the method of the 9-inch circulars, which once I get good at it, I'll probably make a video on that. And then you have these short little guys, which I absolutely love these. They're so small, but they are perfect for smaller size socks like children's socks and that, so you don't have all the excess. And I've used them on my socks because I have midget feet, size 5 women's. So there's that. And then, of course, you can crochet, which I forgot to grab a crochet hook, but usually in crocheting you use anywhere from a size A to a size C, depending on your swatch. So the other thing you can use sock yarn for is shawls and sock head hats and shawlettes. So you don't have to just knit socks or crochet socks. You can also utilize sock yarn for other things. And there's this cool thing also going around that I haven't got into the rage yet, but I keep looking at it. It is the sock blankets. I think it's called sock yarn blanket. And where you make mitered squares out of leftover sock yarn, and then you attach them together. Bay Area Knitter is doing one. She usually posts on Instagram. She also has a podcast on YouTube. And Bakery Bears is also doing the sock blanket. So I'm thinking about jumping on board with my sock yarn ends, excuse me. So that's what I have today. There's a few patterns that I will print off a sheet and I will do another fibroscope on that. But my very favorite vanilla pattern is the Church Mouse Yarns and Tees sock in 2 gauges. It's just a really nice pattern, easy, straightforward. They're really good if you run into a problem. If you call them, they're happy to answer questions. And you can also knit socks or crochet socks in DK weight yarn as well. I have knit 1 pair in worsted, but they were huge. They were supposed to be for me, and they ended up being for my husband. So that is a possibility. So just experiment around and see what you come up with. And thanks for viewing. Have a good day. Happy knitting. Happy crafting.